Honorable Men Discord. Larry Wills smacked Dean. Let's talk about it.
How you see yourself is how you perceived. I see a man strong, gifted, head strapping, never down on his knees, begging. Gotta make a way, even in my darkest hour. Say the odds against me was new. I would never cower.
As always, welcome back to another episode. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I drop episodes daily at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's get straight to it. Larry Wills was on a stream with Rampage Jackson. As you can see to the side of me, it says Kick. I guess that's the Kick stream. This is something that has popped up in my feeds as I always search for material. And first of all, I don't even know what's going on with Rampage, Larry Wills bringing along his wife. I understand in this age of looking for content, everyone's willing to do whatever. And I'm going to get to that in a moment, okay? But with that being said, I've came across videos of Rampage, Larry Wills, and his wife. Now, this particular video is Rampage, Larry Wills, his wife, and this guy named Dean. He has an extended moniker, which I'm not going to say because to me that's BS to me, right? But this guy named Dean, apparently they were sitting down in the restaurant and things escalated. But let's get to this video and we're going to talk about it further.
I gotta step in and ref this.
Okay, go ahead.
Dean lost that argument. Let's move on.
No.
Yeah, let's move on. That's good. Everybody go always be
Why
split.
she agree with me?
Let's go. Everybody,
She agree with me.
we always want to be split on that.
Can I get a hug?
Don't do. Oh, whoa.
I know we're streaming this shit.
I know, hey, bro. Don't disrespect this.
Respect nobody, bro.
I just want a hug. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. No, don't disrespect. Don't disrespect the king like that. Yeah, king. You know why?
She a queen, though.
Listen. Whoa. I know we're streaming. You gotta chill.
We got you. No. Chill out. She married.
Come
Come
around, I
on.
think I'm finna be respectful.
Fuck this nigga.
His
Come
wife
on.
up for grabs.
Hey, he's been mad disrespectful.
smiling, she
Hey,
laughing.
did
It's
you
like
get
that.
Larry? Did
We're
This,
doing the hands.
this.
you ready for them 100 gifted? 200. You ready for them 200 gifted? Whoa, 200 gifted.
That felt good.
Hey, Dean.
All night getting shit on.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that fucking moment.
Dean.
All right, so let me get straight into it. So many things I can say about this. First and foremost, as a representative of the older generation, I'm not gonna say all of those from the younger generation are disrespectful, but there's levels of disrespect that I feel the younger generation has that when I was younger we didn't have towards those that were older than us. I feel like this is becoming a norm, not particularly first with words and in actions also. What do I mean by that? There's no more respect between the age groups, and I don't know if it's warranted. I don't know if the younger generation feels as though the older generation doesn't respect what they have to offer. I don't know what it is. I would leave that for you guys to let me know in the comments. But I'm just going to speak on this video for now, all right? First and foremost, again, I already on separate episodes, told those of you that I'm not a big fan of the streams. I'm just not a fan of it. It's not hate, I'm just not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of cameras rolling and you're like just showing your life. And I know there was reality TV shows that were popular, but as far as streams are concerned, I feel like it puts people in positions where they're desperate to make content that pops. They're desperate to make content that is that's viral worthy, that trends. And for that reason, I don't like it, because you're gonna always at some point in time compromise yourself and look desperate. That I stand on that. I'm not a fan of streams. Shout out to those that are successful. Keep doing what you're doing. This is no hate. This is just my observation of it. This is why I don't particularly like it. All right. With that being said, I don't know what the hell's been going on where now Rampage is part of doing streams. All right. That's his prerogative. He's a grown ass man. Same goes for Larry Wills. Right. Larry Wills was doing his own thing successfully, showing himself working out, but I get it. Everyone wants to look for new streams. They want to connect with other people and expand their brand. I don't think there's anything wrong with expanding your brand. I just think I think that there should be some thought involved in just how you're choosing to expand your brand, and what are the pros, what are the cons, how does it benefit you, does it align with your brand, does it strengthen your brand, or does it somewhat tarnish your brand? All right, Larry Wheels doing this whole streaming thing, and I haven't been following it, so by all means I could be wrong with my observation, which is why this channel is for respectful dialogue. Jump in my comments, let me know, oh, you misinformed, they've been doing this for a while, they have a friendship, they've been brothers, whatever the case is. You could the floor is open for you to enlighten me about the relationship of Larry Wheels and Rampage, why they decided to do this. And you know, all these videos I have queued up, you're gonna see it seems as though this is coming from Rampage's thing. So I think this is a Rampage stream that Larry Wheels is taking part of. I've seen other videos where Rampage, in my opinion, is somewhat taunting and playing around with Larry Wheels, not in a favorable light, not necessarily in a respectable light. It's almost like he's clowning him. Now again, I could be wrong, but that's my observation, and for that reason, I don't like this for Larry Wheels. Period. This is not just about Dean and the smack. We're gonna get there, but this is also about this whole Larry Wheels and Rampage thing. I just don't like what I'm seeing. I don't like seeing two grown men, and one grown man is sort of like playing with the respect, or that not showing the respect to the other one just because he's older, because he knows more, because he can fight, all that kind of stuff. I look at that as a form of bullying and playing around with somebody else, disrespecting them. I don't like it. I don't stand for it. I don't co-sign it. I don't like it. All right. But with that being said, Larry Wheels is a grown man. If he's making a decision to continue to do these streams of Rampage, that's on him, right? I don't like it. Now, when you add the fact that Larry Wheels has his wife beside him, I don't know why he chose to do that. And I'm going to get into that too. I come from a generation where wives weren't brought along to things that men were doing. Now, there's exceptions to the rule. Barbecues, family events, you bring your wife, because that's your wife. You know what I'm saying? You bring your wife to those events. But as far as like, you know, if you're doing something, if Larry Wheels is trying to expand his brand or whatever, what does his wife have to do with it? And that's no disrespect to her. But now you're putting yourself in a position, you're already somewhat being played by Rampage. And I don't know if this is scripted. Again, for those of you that have been following this, let me know in the comment sections, enlighten me. I don't know if this has been scripted, but the clips I've seen, it seems like Rampage is playing, he's playing around with Larry Wheels, for lack of a way of expressing that. All right, he's not really respecting him. He's clowning him, right? And then you put your wife there, so now you're getting clowned in front of your wife. He's making little like hand gestures to your wife. He's including your wife in the buffoonery, and I don't like any of it for Larry Wheels. I don't like any of it for Larry Wheels. I just don't like it. Tell me how this is good for his brand. How do you leave this, look back at it years down the road and say you're proud of that you did this type of partnership or whatever you want to call it? For what, some extra coin? You were doing well on YouTube already. I don't like it at all. So now then to add more fuel to the flame, you bring this guy in here, Dean, who I looked at his page. He does boxing. I don't know if he does it on a professional level. Good for him, right? But now you have someone who's not even a quarter of your weight, or maybe a quarter of your weight, making passes at your wife. Why? Because you brought her into that whole fold in the first place. What is your wife doing on there? Are you trying to help your wife pop because she has an Instagram, she has an OnlyFans? And I'm not going to say OnlyFans. I'm not going to be disrespectful. That's not what I'm here to do. What is the significance of Larry Wheels bringing his wife into the fold to be on these streams? Again, I come from a generation where the wives did what the wives do. They could be with their friends, whatever it is. But when it comes to the men making money, or the men doing men's night, or whatever the case is, whatever it is, you know, men going to the bar, they're not necessarily bringing their wives. And it's also because it's like sacred. Your wives are sacred. You don't want to put yourself in a position, because you already know how other men are. As men, we know how other men are. Let's not act like we don't know how other men can be. I'm not saying all men are, but we know how men can be at the end of the day. And I don't even care if it's your right-hand man, because some of them, you know, we've heard the stories. You get locked up, your right-hand man is trying to get with your lady because they always had eyes for your lady in the first place, and so on and so forth. But I'm not going to break that down. We just stay with me here. We all have common sense, right? You bring your lady into this stream. Rampage is clowning you to a degree, right? Then this kid now is disrespecting you in front of your lady, to your lady, as if you're not even 300 plus pounds. I believe Larry Wills is 300 pounds. If not, he's in the high twos, right? This guy who's 100 something soaking wet is making passes at your wife. The kid went as far as saying she's up for grabs and you didn't smack him then. Listen, I don't know how Larry Wills didn't punch him in his face when he said that shit. And honestly, you know, some people may be laughing at this. I didn't even go into the comment section to see what people had to say. This to me is all the way disrespectful. I don't like any of it for Larry Wills' brand. Larry Wills, my question to Larry Wills is, Larry Wills, what are you doing? There's so many takeaways from this. Larry Wills, do you have self-respect for yourself? Because this is why I'm saying, what is this doing for your brand? The brand that you built when no one knew who you were, when you were just deadlifting tons of plates. Why are you doing this? Because the Larry Wills that I knew, or that I came to learn about, was well revered, well respected, because, you know, he would go in there, lift up heavy weight, and he grew a following behind that, right? And now you're choosing, because maybe your respect for Rampage, or maybe Rampage reached out to you. I don't know the particulars. Those of you watching this, enlighten me. For whatever reason, you got with Rampage, whose background is UFC. He did the movie The A-Team. He played Barack, I believe. Is that the character's name? I could be wrong on that, but he was in the A-Team movie. And that's the extent of what I remember from Rampage. So I haven't been following Rampage, right? Now, you're doing this stream, and all I see in this stream is Rampage is like the maestro. He's like the puppet master. And he's just having his way with clowning you in front of your wife. And I don't like it for you. So my question to Larry Wills is, why are you doing this? And again, this is a testament to how social media and some of these things that we use to make extra money is just making us look bad. We're looking desperate out there. Someone who was successful, and I'm talking to Larry Wills still, someone who was successful on YouTube and various other platforms for lifting weights, why are you doing this? You're not looking good in this. Rampage is enjoying this. Rampage in his later years in UFC was losing bouts, and this is no shot at Rampage, because, you know, anyone that gets in the octagon, I salute, I respect. So this is not a shot at Rampage, but Rampage at the tail end of his career was losing, but now he's winning to a degree off of the disrespect that he's showing the public of you. He's having fun at this. Rampage can't do this to someone who is in his field that could beat Rampage's ass. See, this is why I really can't stand bullies for the life of me. I can't stand bullies. I can't stand bullies with a passion. And this shit reminds me of a bully. Now, if this is scripted and I'm wrong, then you guys keep doing what you're doing. If Larry Wills, if you like looking like a clown in these episodes or whatever, these streams, so be it. You guys are grown men. But this is my observation. This looks bad on you, Larry Wills. It starts with you. And then you think your wife is respecting you, seeing Rampage just play the puppet master and put you guys in these scenarios where he's kind of acting like he's respecting you, but then playing you and then making jokes with your wife. And I still put that on you, Larry Wills, because why is your wife there? She should be at home. If anything, she should be the one at home, or wherever she could do whatever she wants to do, just not do the streams with you. I don't want to even see her in the gym with you. All right? she should be wherever she's at, and then when the cameras are off, she should be telling you, I don't like how that's looking for you. She should be telling you exactly what I'm telling you, Larry Wills. Rampage, I have nothing to say to Rampage, because Rampage is only gonna do what you allow him to do. And this goes also to the what it's like an old saying. People do to you what you allow them to do. And that's for anyone watching this episode. Let that be the takeaway also. People treat you how you allow them to treat you. Larry Wills is allowing Rampage to play puppet master and clown him in front of his wife. Right? And because Rampage has been doing that throughout the streams that I've seen, you allow now another person to come into the stream and just join the wave. It's like, well, this is just a big buffoon clown, so I'm going to just talk to his wife the way I want to talk to him. And we could chalk it up to, oh, Dean was on, he's drunk off of liquor. But then I could talk about Dean. Let's talk about Dean for a moment. Dean, I just browsed his Instagram. I didn't scroll a lot. It looks like he's a boxer. I don't know on what level, but it looks like he's a boxer. Not, right? So you mean to tell me, as a boxer, someone who takes the craft seriously, you allow yourself to get drunk? Because he seems like he's drunk in this stream. So what kind of boxer, what kind of respected boxer are you really if you're allowing yourself to get drunk? And let me hear somebody in the comment section co-sign that buffoonery as an athlete. Everyone knows if you're a serious athlete, you can't be someone who's getting drunk. This is why I was a Mayweather fan. Mayweather said he never drank. I respect any athlete that talks like that. The ones that say I don't smoke weed, I don't drink, those are the ones I respect. Why? Because you're really separating yourself from what people want you to do. I'm not with the crowd. All right. So people who are completely against the crowd, I'm with them, because it's so easy to be the person who, from time to time, you're showing people you smoke blunts, you roll, you smoke weed, you heavily drink. Now I socially drink on vacation and stuff like that, or the rare times I go out, which is not often, I'll socially drink, but I don't get drunk. I've done in the past when I was younger, young and dumb, but you can say this guy's young and dumb. I don't know how old this Dean guy is. He's got to be in his 20s. I'm assuming he's in his 20s. But the difference between when I was young and dumb and Dean looks like he's actually dedicated to something, which is boxing. And in that profession, there's no room for you to be sloppy drunk to the point where you're talking to a grown man's wife as if, you're talking to somebody's girlfriend. And even then, that was disrespectful. Furthermore, I don't want to really drag this out. I don't know where Larry Wills was raised. I'm over here slurring. I don't know where Larry Wills was raised, but this Dean guy, I don't know where he was raised. But something like that in New York, as a New Yorker, Dean would have got punched in his face. Let me just say that. Dean it wouldn't have carried on that long. He would have been punched in his face. Not even a slap. He would have been punched in his face. All right. Now, if he didn't get punched in his face, maybe it's because the person was a little bit worried because he has a background in boxing. But even still, the person who has any self-dignity and self-respect for himself would have punched him in the face just off the fact that he's blatantly saying the man's wife is up for grabs. That right there you would have had a broken nose or lost a tooth off of that one. Because if you didn't do something, then your wife is liable to walk away from you at that point. Because you made yourself look like a complete loser for allowing that. So, in conclusion, Larry Wills, at least he did something about it. But one thing that they didn't show in this, because I was looking for the extended version, was Rampage, again, clowning Larry Wills, went in for a quick hug to Larry Wills' wife, because Larry Wills didn't want anyone getting close or hugging her. And so Rampage went and got closer. She backed up a little bit. But Rampage did that to sort of like test the waters with Larry Wills, and Larry Wills didn't put the energy towards Rampage like that for obvious reasons. Larry Wills knows that Rampage has a background as a mixed martial artist, but even still, it's again disrespectful. It's just disrespectful. I would love for anyone to come in the comments and tell me how you're condoning this whole behavior from Rampage and from Dean. And the only acceptable thing I could even think of seeing in the comments is because all of this is scripted. Maybe I'm just unaware that the whole thing is staged, and at that point, then I have nothing to say about it because I just think this is just buffoonery. And if it's staged, I still, with the man's real wife, and then staging stuff like this, I think this is just clown stuff, and I don't really take part. I don't take part in this. Let me not even say I don't take part in clown behavior, and I think this is clown behavior. But let me get into this is Dean responding to being smacked. Immediately after being smacked, he didn't charge at Larry Reels, which is good for him. But this is how he responded.
Nigga, bro.
Nigga.
This nigga just slapped the shit out of me in front of the girls, nigga.
No, the girls didn't see it. He stopped you in front of his wife. These girls, they didn't see it. I'm being 100 with you. Hey.
She can watch the clip.
Yeah.
You find that funny, huh, bitch ass nigga?
Yeah, I do.
Fuck this nigga, bro.
Nigga.
This nigga just slapped.
Right, so he's more concerned with the fact that the women, there was women in the vehicle that Rampage walked into it, or a woman in there, and he was concerned about, like, they saw me get smacked. So that was his incentive to wanting to get some get back at Larry Wheels. First of all, he was talking about using a firearm, which made him even sound even lamer. But at the end of the day, he deserved it because there was plenty of attempts to diffuse the situation and to get him to stop doing what he was doing, and he proceeded. Now, you could blame it on the alcohol, and again, I tell you, if he considers himself a serious fighter, especially in boxing, why are you drinking to the point where you don't have control of your actions? And even then, that's like, at what point do you hold yourself accountable for your actions? You shouldn't be that drunk anyway. So if you're going to enjoy a few drinks, know your limits. All right, so let's get into Larry Reel's response to the whole situation.
My hand don't hurt, but I bet his jaw does. Look, Rampage was the one trying to tell Dean to calm the fuck down. But Dean didn't listen. He kept digging in. And I think we all agree he got what he deserved. My hand don't hurt, but...
All right, so this is the last thing I have queued up. This is Rampage talking to him inside the vehicle.
My jaw hurt.
But I know your jaw hurt, but
It
guess what?
hurt to shoot this
But
man.
you know what? That shows how tough you are. This is a 300-pound nigga that smacked you. And you took it like a motherfucking man. And when he smacked you, you said, "Hey!"
What's your thoughts on all this? This is clown behavior. Again, I'm from the old school, and I'm not ashamed of it. And this is why a lot of you watching this is why, if you're making decisions like this, if you have your woman around other men constantly, this is why your relationship is not respected, because you're not respecting it. Not everything is meant to be publicized. And that's where society is going wrong, period. That's a lot is due to social media and all these websites. Everyone feels like everyone needs full access of your personal business. That's where you went wrong. And I'm not saying don't be on social media promoting your brand, having a channel, but the world doesn't need to know everything. And that's the problem with social media. People feel like disclosing everything. Larry Reels, you don't need your wife everywhere you go. Again, I don't know if you're trying to like help her start her brand or whatever it is on social media. I don't know what she does. I didn't look into her. But she shouldn't be around this. She shouldn't be around this at all. If you want to take part in it, you take part in it, which I don't even think you should be a part of it, because you're not looking good in it. You're not coming across looking good in this. And I don't like that for you. I don't like clown behavior. I don't like bullying. I don't like it. That's my thought on this. What's your thoughts? As always, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I drop episodes daily at 5 p.m. Eastern time. And as always, stay honorable.